Hello and welcome to Rick's Tech Pub on a Thursday, January 22nd. Did I get that right? Yep. Thursday, January 22nd. Oh, yeah, I'm in my, um, whatchamacallit thing because it's cold in here. My fleece. Sitting right next to a window that's drafty and it's windy today, so. Hello, Ski Man. Hello, Ken. Is it just Ken and Ski Man here so far? Yeah, kind of looks like it. William. How you doing, William? Oh boy, do I feel like a pile of dog beep. Yeah, you're not feeling good today? Well, that kind of sucks. Actually, it does suck when you're not feeling good. Because I know you said you got off last night early because you had getting a headache. Hello, Jeff. How are you? Bill was here earlier. He was here earlier, but he's not here now. Can't start over. Have problems with Thunderbird. Oh, that's never good. Uh, yeah, I hate to ask, but what are you having problems with? The sending or receiving? Because they get fixed in two different ways. You have a good old YouTube shuffle. I don't know. It's another overcast day. Uh, really, I'm sitting next to a drafty window. This window that I'm sitting next to is just drafty. That's why I had to kind of bundle up and do the live stream because last I looked, our temperature was 0. I wonder if it's gone up anywhere anytime since then. No, it's fallen. We went from 0. We're 6 below right now. We've actually dropped in temperature. So that's my news of the weather. We're at 6 below. We've actually gotten colder as the day went on. It's going on, actually. It may be working again, but it was put sent message into the sent folder. But it won't put sent message. I've heard of that problem, and usually it's just you gotta wait a little bit. Sometimes Thunderbird can be slow on that. I've had that problem. Waiting for that sent mail, go into the sent folder, and I was like, come on, where is it? A little while later, I go back and oh, there it is. Okay. I've noticed they have had a little bit of an issue with that lately, so I don't think anything to worry about. And I guess for this update that went awry, I guess for a few people here locally, it was depending. Well, if they were going remote connection through their computer, it wasn't working. But if you were using remote desktop or the remote desktop within Windows, that wasn't working. So I guess there were a few things that were broken, but they're just I guess they've opted just to not to use it for a while or use some third party program to get around that issue. But I think that's one thing that Windows said they were going to have to fix because somehow it broke. You may have gotten 10 to 18 inches. Just depends on final track. That's a lot of snow. I hope you don't get that much. But then I've said that in the past winters, and it's like, I hope we don't get the 8 to 10 inches. Wake up in the morning with 8.5 inches on the ground. Like, great. I knew what I was going to be doing that day. From morning till night. Snow shoveling. I started around, 7:30, and I got back home around 5. That was a few days ago, but we got a lot of snow, and it was anybody that had a shovel, anybody that could do shoveling to go over to Northeast and wherever we could help to kind of get Brainerd unshoveled because we got a lot of snow. And I don't do that anymore. I mean, they've called and I've declined. I said, no, I really shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff anymore. Would like to, it'd get me out of here for the day, but I really shouldn't be doing that. I say, okay, if you ever get bored, like, they know I'm always bored. There's not much to do here. So they're always wanting to get me out of here. Which is the main reason why they want me to go out and voluntarily do shoveling or do shoveling and get paid for it, just to do something to do. But now I talked to my doctor about that, and my back doctor in the cities, and he said, nah, I don't think so. You're not having any problems with your neck because you're not doing any of that kind of strenuous work. And your back's not bothering you because you're not doing that. Hey, Tim. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I was gonna mention that too, so thank you for reminding me. And enterprise or educational version, educational ed. Okay, stop while I'm ahead. Widespread outages. Tim, you might want to learn that ski man. The way you said that, it came out wrong. I think. This ski man. He corrected it. Yeah, it is just not a good day here. It's just it's just cold, windy. It's just very. I can feel the wind. There's these windows in my air conditioner. Ever since I washed my windows, and got that thing around the window. Ever since that got wet, my windows just don't seal right anymore. That's why after the live stream, I close the blinds, close the drapes, because then it stops that wind from coming in. So as I said in my title of my show, I'm going to be trying Grok. I think Grok 3 or Grok 4, one of the two. And I'm going to try Notebook LM. Notebook LM seemed kind of interesting to me. There's some things. It's kind of like your nodes in DaVinci Ken. Once you get your LMs or wherever you want to put them, you can connect them together. Little string and just kind of connect the same thing you do in nodes in DaVinci. So I'm gonna try to do a couple of things with that. Mainly with, like, I don't know, timing something for so many seconds, then it stops. Then it starts again for so many seconds, then it stops. So it's gonna repetitive belt of on off on off on off or start stop. Um, what I'll use that for, I don't know, but we can get something like that for LM to kind of do, and I don't know. Different ideas. Not familiar with Grok or LM. Notebook LM. Yeah, they're another kind of LLM, large language model. There is a bunch of them out there. It's like Windows said they have 23 Copilot things in Windows. I don't know if they were saying different versions of Copilot or just different Copilots, but Windows said they've got 23 of them. Which I didn't know they had that many. I thought they were just. But they're going to be putting Copilot into everything, including Notepad, Paint. And they're doing things with that for Notepad for launch versus stability, and they don't want stability out of it. So there's certain things they're adding or certain things they're changing with those Notepad and Paint. New features in 2026. Copilot in the search taskbar. Yay, lovely. Didn't we have that in there once already? I thought it was in there once already. Maybe it wasn't. Updated widgets is now powered by Updated widgets board is now powered by Copilot. Well, isn't that surprising? The widgets board's powered by Copilot. The calendar, the agenda view in the taskbar, calendar flyout. And you're making changes in that. So just a bunch of new things that we can look forward to in 2026. Oh, here's one that I wanted to come out, but they never this is unannounced by Microsoft. They hasn't said anything. But the ability to set videos as your desktop wallpaper. Yes, this can be done by third party tools, but finally coming to Windows officially as a built-in function of the OS. So that's a few things we can. Oh, then we're back to the redesigned Run dialog box. I keep talking about that they're going to redesign the Run dialog box for a more modern design. So that's just a few things that they're doing. They said a whole bunch more, and I've got a whole bunch more written, but I don't want to bore you guys to tears. Oh, yeah, the ability to resume apps from your phone. So, if you're doing something like listening to Spotify on your phone, and you get home, and you can switch it from your phone, and if you got Spotify on your phone, you can switch it over to your computer from your phone. Then you can resume, and it'll start right from the last note that song stopped on, and will resume right where it stopped at. So I thought it was kind of neat. So if you're working on something on your phone, your Android phone, and you're not quite done with it, but yet you're standing next to your computer, well, just switch it from your phone over to your desktop and keep on going. That'll be a new feature, but again, that's unannounced. Microsoft hasn't said anything about that yet, but it is out there. But whether we get that option or not, I don't know. So that's just a few things. Wow. Oh my gosh, I wish that wind would quit. Every time that wind picks up. Getting chilly. But download Windows Vista and Windows 7. Why the hell would we want to do that? Someone with a video on YouTube about you can go back and download. It doesn't make any sense. Duplicate tab. You gotta read the I got a notification. I'm not understanding what he's saying here. Oh, download any Windows Vista and Windows with download Windows Vista and Windows 7 with updates. January 2026 ISOs available here. Well, I'd like to get, I never really played with Windows Vista, but at some point, I'd like to. I'd like to play around with Windows Vista because I never got the chance to. And I think I've got a computer or something around here or a motherboard around here that would work with Windows Vista. So I got an older board. I got the oh, what the hell is it? The 4-core B85 something gigabyte motherboard. I think that might work for Vista. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it won't. I might have to get a board older than that. But yeah, if I could download Windows Vista, I never really, like I said, I never got to play around with Vista. So, and here's another guy saying goodbye Windows, hello Linux. I don't know about you people doing that. I think you're biting off more than you can chew. It's my opinion, but I think if you're on Windows, you stay on, unless you just, I don't know. I shouldn't give any advice like that because it's a free world. You can do what you want, but I just think that once people get over to Vista or Linux, they're not gonna like it, and then they're gonna come back to Windows and say, "Well, gee, I should have never left." Well, yeah, but install Windows 11 from Microsoft website. Well, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, nothing else there, so I guess I'll get out of this and go back to OBS. Excuse me. And Ken, one of these days we'll have to work on my OBS and get a few things set up with that. Maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow, or get a few more things in my OBS so that I can do a couple of things, do a few more things than just looking at myself. So I don't know. From what I'm hearing, Windows is making some changes that, again, a lot of people aren't going to like it, but um, I don't know. But the one, like I said, the one I'm looking for is to have videos as a desktop background. That I'll use for my biking, going down the biking trail. There's another trail south of town that goes out behind Walmart. Yep, I'll do that. There's a trail out behind Walmart that I want to go on. The last time I had a hard time getting there. I couldn't remember which left or right or left or right or whatever. I had to take one and where, so I had to ask somebody. So to get to that one place, and when he remembered what I was talking, but to get on that trail that takes you out to the winding trail, it's a bunch of S curves. He said, "Oh, you're wanting to get out there? Go out here and take a left and go all the way down." And say, "Oh yeah, that's right." Then once he told me, it clicked in my head. It's like, "Oh yeah, that's right." He said, "Now you remember?" He's like, "Yeah, now I do." He just had to say that one word, and he's like, "Boom!" It clicked back with me. He said, "Oh yeah, that's right. That's how you get there." I couldn't tell you how to do it now though. So I'll probably have to go down there and circle the roads a little bit until I remember what road to turn on because I can't remember. And again, I'm back to cleaning my desk. It is kind of becoming a mess. I gotta write down some notes from doctors, and I got a few other things I need to write down so I don't forget it. That's what my mom is just reminding me. Says, write down everything so you do not forget. Like, yeah, that's why I got papers all over my desk, and then that becomes a mess, and then I still can't remember because I can't find the piece of paper that I wrote it on. She was on the phone with me about that the other day. She says, "Son, you do have problems, don't you?" I said, "Yes." I get so much of it, and then I got 10 or 15 pieces of paper on my desk. Like, I get too much of it, I just walk away from it. I kind of gave her the example of kind of like a puppy or a dog. You give them too much food at once, they'll just sniff it and then walk away. Well, if I get overwhelmed with paper on my desk, I'll just walk away from it. Then I get late, then I get phone calls like, "Why haven't we got an itemized bill yet?" Like, oh shoot, it's at the bottom of the pile, and then I gotta start working on things. But I'm gonna fix that this year. Like I said, I'm gonna get a, I don't know, secretary of some kind. Because I can't be behind on everything like this. I'll start losing faith in me if I just can't keep up. But I'm not gonna do that much this summer anyhow. My doctor, when I talked to him, Dr. Jewison, he says that he'd like to see me back off from the workforce. He knows I did. He knows I don't want to, but he'd like to preserve what's left of my back. And I said, "You ain't got that much left to begin with, so he'd like to preserve what I have left." And does that mean that he said that does mean that I won't be doing much in the workforce? Because I'm just gonna continuously keep tearing up my back. And I wasn't surprised he told me that because I told him I knew you were gonna tell me that one of these days. Like, yeah, it's not like I want to, but him and some other doctors were talking about me. Him, Jewison, and a few of his colleagues were talking about me specifically. And they kind of concluded that if I don't want to be getting those shots or whatever as much or as often, then, yeah, unfortunately, not working as much, maybe for a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours a week, but I said, yeah, I could do that because I've got money I can live on. And my Social Security at some point can go back up to its normal amount. Because that got cut back to minimal because I'm working. But if they do decide that I really shouldn't be working anymore, which is fine, I'll just call Social Security and say, guess what? I'm not doing my self-employment anymore. And if I am, it's going to be some stuff that I can do behind the desk. Stuff that I can do sitting right here. Because really, to be honest with you, I'd like to take more time into getting into Da Vinci and some other stuff. And I got plenty of other income coming in that it's not going to hurt me for not working. It's not going to hurt me one doggone bit. Trying to clean out my desk again. That is just becoming a disaster. Small disaster. It's not bad, but before it gets out of control, I'm cleaning it now, and I'm finding all the quarters that I lost the other day. So someone came over the other day, and I had all my few of the quarters that I have sitting out on the desk, and I just threw them in the drawer, and I closed the drawer because loose change, and I didn't want her to get sticky fingers and take off with a few quarters that weren't hers. So I quickly shoved them into my drawer and told her to come in because I could hear her coming down the hall. It's like, oh, here comes Nicole. So I quickly shoved the quarters in the drawer and slammed it shut. And she knocked on the door and said, yeah, come in, Nicole. But I had the quarters put away already. I need to fix my drawer. That was my drawer that you heard hitting the floor. And I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what I can do to fix that. But I need to. Get some L brackets. Just kind of screw the L brackets to the... I don't know. I don't know what I can do about that. Okay, Ken. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So it is... June 28th. If anybody else has got anything they want to say, any questions they want to ask, now would be the time, because I'm thinking of just getting out of here. Now I've kind of got myself in a cleaning mood. Now I'm kind of wanting to go do that. And then I might get on Zoom later. Depends. Later, everyone. Thanks, Ski Man. Yeah, thank you, Ski Man, for being here. And we'll catch you later on tonight on Ken's live stream, and then again at 10:30 Central Time. It is for the rest of you. I'm gonna get out of here and keep on cleaning, and I don't know. Like I said, I might get on Zoom later. May or may not. I don't know. Depends if I really get into things here, which possibility. I also need to clean my computers, dust out my computers with my CompuVac. I need to do the one in the living room and the one here in the... Start over. Do the one in the bedroom, and then come here and do the one in the living room. But this one I have to pull out of the cubby hole. I've got to unplug everything, and yeah. So this is the one that I really don't want to do, but it's overdue. I haven't done this one for quite a while. The one in the bedroom I've been doing more often. This one I haven't touched for a while, so I really need to give this one a good thorough cleaning and get the dust out of it. So with that, guys, I hope you all have a great afternoon, and tomorrow's Friday. I will have a live stream. Same time, same place. I don't know what we'll talk about. Probably just be an open chat or something. Or an AMA, ask me anything. I really haven't done that yet because I don't know how that's going to go. So if I were to, I'd need the moderators to keep on their toes because people are going to come in here and ask me questions that maybe they shouldn't ask. That's why I don't want to do an AMA. Everybody else does, but I don't know. I think I'll skip over that. I'd like to, but I can see that kind of getting out of control. I need scotch tape. You know what? That's what I need. Scotch tape. And how about this one? Yeah, May 5th for my dentist. I need to actually write that down and get a calendar reminder somehow to come up a couple days before May 5th and say, you've got a dentist appointment in 2 days. Like, oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you. But I don't know if Windows calendar above the clock can do that or what kind of calendar can do that. But Google Calendar, maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think on that? Or is there a program I have to write for a calendar to do that? But I think most calendars that if I can find the right one will give me a reminder in 2 or 3 days, 2 days before. You got a dentist appointment coming up. Like, oh yeah, thank you. Because in the meantime, I would have completely forgotten about it. And that's what my mom said. You need something or write some kind of program that will do the reminding for you because you're forgetting a lot. Like, yeah, I know I am. But well, maybe the Zoom homies can help you with that. Get something kind of written that'll do something for reminding you of stuff. Because she doesn't want to continuously keep calling me and reminding me. Say, did you call that person yet? Like, what person? Like, oh yeah, shoot, doggone it, no, I didn't. And so I need to write something that'll get me doing better on reminders and something that'll remind me to do things. But I need to tell it to remind me, and half the time I can't remember what to tell it to remind me of. So I don't know. We'll work on that maybe a little bit at some point in the future, but I don't know. That I do need to get organized a little bit is trying to remember to keep doing things. Like, did I call that person like I was supposed to 5 days ago? No, because I forgot. So phone calls is what I have a hard time with. That's the one thing I just goes in one ear right out the other to call that person. Then they call back. It's like, why didn't you call him yet? Like, oh shoot, that's right. I'm sorry. I forgot. That's what you always say. Because it's true. I do. I forget because there's nothing around here or nothing popping up on the screen telling me you need to call that person in 2 days at 1 o'clock. Like, oh yeah, that's what I gotta do. Because that's what keeps biting me in the butt is not remembering. So I need to write some kind of remembering program or remember program, something that'll help me remind me of stuff. Oh, Lone Dog. You just caught me at the end because I was going to shut it down here. Looks like the Palestinians are getting... Okay, let's not talk about that, Lone Dog. I don't care what the Palestinians are doing or whatever's going on over there. It's none of my business. Ignore me up, Rick. No, I'm not ignoring you, just... trying to catch up on what you're reading, what you said. Well, my computers aren't on the floor. This one's in a cubby hole on my desk, And the other one's up on that wire shelf in the bedroom. I'm reading your comments, Long Dog. Just give me a second. God, you wrote a lot. It would be good to watch rather than me explain it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not something I'm interested in. Calling the Board of Peace. You know, something like that, what the United Nations is supposed to do. Well, when you take it apart, tell us about how much does the collect useful information. What? Well, when you take it apart, tell us about how much does it collect in useful information. What are you talking about? And how much it's been since you cleaned it? Oh, cleaning the dust out of my computers. Like I said, I usually do better with the bedroom one, but the one here in the bedroom, living room, in this cubby hole thing, it's the one I need to get to. When I just keep delaying it, keep saying, "I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later." And one of these days, I'm gonna pay the price for waiting till later. Oh, I can do it tomorrow. It'll wait another day. Meanwhile, the dust gets thicker and thicker and thicker. I don't think it's that bad, but I do need to take a look-see in there and stick my nose in there and see how bad the dust is. And I know it's getting to the critical point in some parts, like the power supply. That's probably covered up with a bunch of dust and dirt. Hello, William. Did you show back up? Not ending yet because I'm reading Long Dog stuff. You know something? Okay, where are we? I bet it's hard to get out of the. Yeah, that's kind of the problem I have on this cubbyhole desk, is I have to get underneath the desk to unplug everything, or I just pull the whole thing forward and hope I don't pull on any of the wires. That's what I usually do. I just open the front door, I take the entire desktop and I pull it forward, unplug the wires from the back, just kind of set them down in place. Then I pull it out here and put it up on the table there and take the compu vac and blow out the dust. Create another dust cloud in here. Plus I failed the Evelyn Woodhead speed running course. You've got too much running at your computer at this particular moment, and apparently it affects Dragon. Yeah, that can be. If you got a lot running on your computer, it can make Dragon a little stuttery. So you might want to play around with that and try turning some things off. I wouldn't say turn everything off, but things you're not currently using, don't need at the point they're using Dragon, just turn them off temporarily. It's the easiest, quickest solution around that. Yeah, the team would be. Yeah, the term would be interrupts, but that's for a topic for another discussion of another day. Yeah. I hardly have anything running on my computers. I got 2 programs running on this one, and I think 3 running on it in the bedroom, but that's a 16 core one in the bedroom. And this one here is a 6 core. Doesn't have too much oomph to it, but like I said, I wanted to swap computer boards, but motherboards. I was going to put the Aurorus B560 in this computer, then take the Gigabyte 390 Gaming X and put it in that one, but then turn the Gaming X into the server, and the B560 Aurora's Pro would come back into this one. But there's so many programs that I got that I don't have the passwords to anymore, and I can't remember what email I used for them. Zoom is one of them. Malwarebytes, I think I let that elapse. I don't have the membership for that anymore. I let that one go. So I can get Malwarebytes, the free one. But Zoom, I don't know what I would do with on that one. Then I'd have to get email set back up on this. It'd be a chore, but I think if I had help, I think I could do it. Increasing your education. Well, all right, guys. I think I'm gonna go. I think I've caught up on what Lone Dog says, and I don't know. At my age, getting education, I'm not too interested. I mean, some things I want to learn, but I don't know. Gotta get me something I'm interested in. And this stuff that you're, I don't know. What is from Anna, computer engineer? You're thinking more out in the future than I am, Long Dog, so. Which is not a bad thing, it's just my thinking doesn't go that far. But alright, guys, I'm going to call it quits. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Talk about whatever, or I don't know, I'll think of something between now and then. In the meantime, catch you later.